Welcome back, and we'll start off with a shout out to our sponsor, Absolute Water. Bottoms up. That's some good Absolute Water. Alright, so last week probably didn't quite go to plan. We got half the games right, which is it's okay. Down 15 cents, so we weren't quite switched on last week. We had stuff on, but we got through it. Tottenham started us off well though.
They did.
Yeah.
4-0.
4-0 win, smashed Bournemouth. Crystal Palace played out a 2-2 draw with Leicester, as did Sunderland and West Ham. West Ham, of course, letting us down once again. I really do feel for the West Ham fans. Crystal Palace also letting us down to a point. Leicester, I think, doing most of the hard work in that one.
Leicester, they got a 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
Leicester,
and they just seem to be immortal. Finally knocked out of the Champions League, but what a run that was for them.
No, look, they should be very proud.
Meanwhile, Everton and Stoke did not let us down, beating Burnley and Hull City respectively 3-1.
Yep.
Gave us a bit of a scare at the start there. Looked like they were going to put up a bit of a fight, but got the job done in the end.
In the end, comfortable home victories.
And Watford as well, with a 1-0 win over Swansea, just scraping over the line. We weren't expecting much, but yeah, it's the result. It's the result that matters.
Getting it done.
Now, 3 unexpected results for us. We got all these wrong. Manchester City winning away from home, quite
very comfortably.
Well,
that
I mean,
one that we were able to.
It was a tight game up until the end where they scored those last 2 goals. But yeah, it was a very good performance, and that it's a big sign for Manchester City going ahead, going into this top 4 battle. Liverpool, same deal.
Yes, that was a big win for Liverpool. Showing a bit of grunt, a bit of
steel.
Bit of steel in that back line, holding them out.
Right at the end, Arsenal coming back from that awful loss last week, as we said they would.
We did say they would.
We got that one right there.
Middlesbrough 2-1.
Just sort of just scraped over the line there.
If they lost that, they would have really.
Oh, they were never going to lose it, but they almost didn't win. They almost didn't win. But the result of the round and really spicing up the top 4 race, but more importantly, bringing the title race back to life. Manchester United winning at Chelsea, and probably what was the most boring game of the week, but it was definitely the biggest result of the week.
Well, they deserved the victory. I mean, they were all over them.
And yeah, well, even though neither team had double figures in shots, it was
Chelsea didn't get a shot on target.
Yeah,
that's it.
They finally won at home.
They
did. Yeah, massive result, and that takes us into this week's topic. I mean,
we have a title race.
Yeah, the title race is back. We thought it was long gone for a long time now. Tottenham surprised us all by just not only keeping up with Chelsea, but now they're the best team in the league.
They've won 7 or 8 in a row, and they've just been destroying teams, haven't they? And
you just wonder if they can win the rest of their games.
Well, Harry Kane gets injured. They don't miss him.
Yeah,
that's huge. They don't miss him. He comes back,
and then they dominate even more.
They just integrate him back in like nothing's happened. So that is huge for Tottenham. And
Chelsea, of course, haven't kept a clean sheet for a while, and they got kept out in this game, obviously, against Manchester United, which is a big worrying sign for them. I mean, like
they got kept out in shots as well. That's insane.
They're losing their touch. I don't know if the players are just not quite. I don't know. Not focused. What is it?
Well, I think Chelsea, pretty much throughout this whole season, they've been getting the job done.
Yeah,
they're a good side. They're not a great side, but they're good. They're very consistent, and they just win the games that they're meant to win, especially at home and away. Just consistently playing good.
And they're probably not the best side in the league, are they?
They haven't really lifted to that sort of great level, have they?
Chelsea's best this season hasn't been... Or they're probably not even in the top 2.
Well, Chelsea's best is not as good as Tottenham's best, put it that way. But they have been the most consistent team this season. Yeah. And they've just been getting results.
And their worst has not been... Well, past that, that first little blip before they moved to 3 at the back.
Well, their worst hasn't been that bad either.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've been consistent, and that's why they're top of the table. And they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
We're not saying they don't deserve to be there, but they deserve to be there.
And now it's a case of really... A, can Tottenham win the rest of their games? And B, is Chelsea going to slip up a little bit more before the end of the season?
They very well could.
They could. It's interesting because neither Chelsea or Tottenham are in action this weekend because they're playing in the FA Cup. Although Chelsea is playing their game midweek, and then Tottenham's playing some other catch-up game midweek. But they're actually meeting each other in the FA Cup, which is
at Wembley neutral ground.
And you kind of feel like, could this be sort of a sign? Whoever wins this game is sort of sending a message to the other that there's a
subplot to this game.
Yeah, really. So I mean, Tottenham could be saying, "Look, I'm after you," and Chelsea could be saying, "Look, it's over, mate. Like that's as far as you go." You don't think that Chelsea's got the mental fragility to cripple after if they were to lose in the FA Cup, which the bookies have them to do. And we're probably the same. We're expecting a Manchester City versus Tottenham final in the FA Cup. But we'll see more about that later. It's definitely made it a lot more interesting in the closing part of the season. So looking through the fixtures for both teams, it looks like there's probably 3 fixtures that Chelsea could potentially trip up on. I mean, going on that, that they're just so consistent. They haven't been winning games because they're just overpowering teams. They've just been playing at a very high level and doing the job, really.
Yeah.
And we've got fixtures coming up. The one against Southampton at home, which is more of a fatigue thing. It's potential there.
It's after the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably I don't know, like they have had a bit of trouble with the more congested fixtures. That's sort of a period where they drop a few more points.
That's true as well. And Southampton are also inconsistent in terms of their performances.
They could do anything.
So that's a potential, dropping points scenario. But
and also because that's sandwiched in between the FA Cup and then a game against Everton away. Now that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Everton away is...
the Southampton was just like a sort of teaser.
Yeah.
That something could potentially happen there. But Everton, this is actually a serious one. We all know about Everton's home form. They've been very good at home.
Very hard to beat. That's the most important thing.
Yeah. So Chelsea are likely probably to drop some points here.
If not a loss, then at least a draw.
Which helps Tottenham, doesn't it?
And not long after, they've got a game away at West Brom, which has been trouble for teams this season.
It has.
And even though most of the top teams do seem to get over the line, it's still a potential hurdle. And Chelsea have a lot of congested fixtures now because the FA Cup, they've got a lot of catch-up games now which split their weeks in half, and it's basically that 3 or 4 game period.
It is. And
if Chelsea can keep their neck above water, they've got a free run home.
That's the thing. We're not saying that Chelsea can't win these games. We're just saying that these are hurdles that they've got to overcome.
Well, this is Tottenham's only chance, really, because Tottenham, either way, probably need to win the rest of their games to keep that pressure on them.
It's still less likely for Tottenham, but Tottenham will be looking at their fixture list going... We've got a chance here.
Well, it's
they've got belief.
It's a lot like that the season where Liverpool came second recently to Manchester City, and Manchester City were ahead, and Liverpool basically needed to win the rest of their games. They went on a great run at that point, but it still wasn't enough. And for Tottenham, you kind of feel that...
I shouldn't mention it, but anyway, I won't mention it anyway.
Yeah, well, even if Tottenham do get through, let's just say, the next 4 or 5 fixtures, and they do edge ahead of Chelsea, and Chelsea do drop those points, then Chelsea there's still fixtures that Tottenham need to play. They do need to play Arsenal at home. They need to play Manchester United at home.
That's the one. That's the big one.
That's the big one.
Arsenal at home isn't really a challenge anymore.
No,
the way they're going about it.
But Manchester United do cause trouble on the road.
They cause trouble everywhere.
And
for teams. So... That's going to be one just out of pure interest as to what's going to happen.
And that comes a bit later on as well. And Manchester United will obviously be fighting for their top 4 spot. Who knows how they'll be in the Europa League at the time. So if they win the Europa League, they're in. And they won't be threatening the other top 4 teams because you're allowed to have 5 teams in the Champions League now. So they're in the clear. But in terms of Tottenham and Chelsea, it's really... Well, we're going to know if Tottenham even has a chance in the next 3 or 4 games, because if Chelsea don't drop those points, then it's over.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And then it'll be up to Tottenham to follow through and get those points.
Also, really. Plus Tottenham can't drop any points, really. Even if they drop points that they're expected to win.
And unless Chelsea
have to,
they're going to have to capitulate.
It's still Chelsea's title to lose, put it that way.
Yeah, and we're probably thinking at this point it still favours Chelsea, but it's definitely the race is on.
It's made it interesting now.
The race is on.
We think Chelsea
before it was over. Now
there's
an actual genuine chance of something happening. So, and Tottenham could win the rest of their games because their tough games are at home.
They're playing extremely well at the moment, and at home they've been unbelievable.
But so was Liverpool in that season. So, and Manchester United. Jose Mourinho's side again.
Yeah, well, United have
there to trip up the potential title chasers.
True.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting in the next few weeks. Now we'll just wrap up with a preview. We've only got 6 games this week because of the FA Cup. The other games we'll have a look at just after. We'll still have the reviews up on Facebook, but we're not going to have them here for you yet, so you're going to have to check that out later on. Link is in the description below. But to start us off, we've got Bournemouth taking on Middlesbrough. We're expecting a Bournemouth victory. Yeah, Bournemouth to win. Look, Middlesbrough they're both down in that relegation spot, but Bournemouth, it's far enough ahead.
Middlesbrough don't look like coming back here.
Yeah, Middlesbrough look like a championship side, and they're going straight back to where they came from. Speaking of championship sides,
they're not a championship side.
Mm-hmm.
They're staying up.
Another one of the newcomers fighting for their life. Hull City taking on Watford. We put down Hull to win this one again. Home win. Well, Hull have been looking good. Watford just
at home, they're not bad.
And Watford just handing over the points. They just can't score. They just can't score. They can score, but it's in bursts, and they don't do it often enough. Next, we had Swansea and Stoke, and this one was borderline.
This was tough to call because of Stoke's terrible away form.
But we're gonna edge it towards Swansea. They need this.
That's the only reason.
They need to get out, and
they need to win.
We're giving them a chance.
Yeah.
So we're going to edge with Swansea on that one.
So next game, West Ham taking on Everton, and look, West Ham's one of the easier London teams to go to and sort of defeat. They only because they leak goals. They do concede that goal. They can score.
And Everton haven't been winning that much on the road lately, but West Ham give the perfect platform to just that.
Everton are a capable team on the road. They're not as good as they are at home, but they will score here.
Yeah,
we can't see them losing the game.
And we're expecting to get through.
Yeah.
Game number 2, we're holding off on this one, although at this point we're going to back Burnley for a draw. Just because the whole fatigue thing, Manchester United coming off the Europa League fixture and stuff. But we will confirm that after the Europa League fixture. That's going to be in the description below, so keep an eye out for that one. Mm-hmm. So at this point, it's a Burnley draw, but to be confirmed. And the last game, Liverpool hosts Crystal Palace. Liverpool once again getting top spot because all the important games are being postponed. Liverpool probably going to win this one. They've been good enough lately.
Well, after those 2 victories away from home, you'd think they'd back it up here. Look, Crystal Palace are in good form. There's no doubt about that. But
their away form, they're hit and miss. They win or they lose.
And
the Liverpool don't look like losing at this stage. So we're going to back them for this one.
Well, they need to stay in the top 4, don't they? And Crystal Palace are sort of giving themselves a little bit of a buffer between the relegation zone.
Crystal Palace are ready to pounce, but I don't think Liverpool's going to give them that opportunity this time around. They showed
a different side of them against West Brom, didn't they? So if they bring that same sort of intensity and mentality here, they're going to win.
And now watch them lose. So there's going to be 4 midweek fixtures. We'll have a crack at those after the FA Cup semi-finals. Once again, link is in the description below. It's on our Facebook page. Of course, one of those is a Manchester derby, so definitely going to have a look into that one. It's going to be a very interesting and important game for both those clubs. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you haven't seen it already, we've just come out with our AFL versus EPL video.
Australian Football League. We've matched up the English Premier League teams with the Australian teams.
So if you want to get into AFL, then
just adopt a team and sort of go on the afl.com.au website and check the results here and there and go, my team won this week. No, they lost. Who cares?
We're not quite ready to bring the results of that previews and reviews. Plus, it's still in that unpredictable stage at the moment. But there'll be more of that stuff coming out in the coming weeks, especially as the EPL comes to a close. But once again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you for something to do with AFL or our next
video,
week's
whenever we
EPL.
Yeah.
See you then.